What's going on, everybody? Jay from HVAC On Air here, and I'm here with Tony Furst from Takeo. Tony, how you doing?
Jay, I'm doing wonderful, man. It is a great day here at the beginning of AHR. Our booth traffic has been phenomenal. And so to give you a little background on me, I am a senior systems engineer with Takeo, and I work in the commercial training department. So in my role, I get to run around the country teaching engineers and contractors and reps how our product works. So I have the greatest job in the world.
Yeah, sounds like a great gig.
Yes, I have fun with it. So what I really want to talk about today is, let's talk about packages.
Okay.
And off-site built or factory built packages for pumping, for heat exchangers, for tanks, for anything you could possibly imagine. If you have an idea for what you need a skid built for, we have the capabilities in our factory in Lubbock, Texas, to build a skid like this one. This one we built specifically for the show, so it's got a whole lot of stuff on it that you may not ever put in the same skid.
Right.
However, the idea was to show off our fabrication capabilities. Okay, this skid, to give you an idea, this skid weighs 18,000 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was built in Lubbock, Texas. So let's take a walk around, kind of show you some of the stuff we've got on here.
Yeah.
So we start here, and at this point, we have a thermal energy storage tank. So in the data center world, what happens is, if they have a power outage, the chillers go offline, but the pumps can recycle really quickly. The chillers can't. So how do they maintain chilled water? This thermal energy storage tank, what it does is this provides a mass of chilled water for 15, 20 minutes of time until the chillers can cycle back up again and keep the cooling going in a data center. So what we have is the ability to do computational fluid dynamics and calculate the exact performance and verify it before it ever gets built. So we have this capability. We build these in our plant in Fall River, Massachusetts. So we've mounted one here. We also have the capability of building plate and frame heat exchangers. This is Jim Ice. You're going to get roped into a video. You just didn't know it. So Jim is the head of our heat exchanger group, and so we build heat exchangers, not just plate and frame, but we also build shell and tube. So we can do steam to hot water to hot water, pretty much anything you can think of. And if you have questions about heat exchangers, Jim's definitely the guy. Jim, you want to say anything about what we're doing heat exchanger wise?
Well, some of the things that we got going on in terms of.
Hold on, Jim. I'll give him mine.
Okay.
You can hold it up to your mouth if you want.
Sure.
There you go.
Some of the new exciting things we have going on with the heat exchanger line is actually, from a production perspective, a new facility. Basically, this new facility on Water Street in the Fall River area has got, tongue-in-cheek, unlimited capacity. So, tremendous amount of growth that we can develop with this and move things along. And we've also expanded the product line extensively. Previously, we would go from 1 to 12-inch connection. Now we go from 1 all the way up to 20-inch. Takes us into many, many more applications. Tony was mentioning data centers with respect to the thermal expansion tank. The heat exchanger used in data centers and the volumetric flow is such that we've sold the first ever bank of 6 20-inch port heat exchangers just this past summer. Tremendously successful project for us.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Nice to meet you,
Hate
Jim.
to put you on the spot, but it was good.
So I work my best. No time to think about it.
Yeah. We'll migrate our way back around to this motor.
What do we got here?
So this is a kind of a show off of the custom fabrication abilities we have with tanks. So our ASME fab shop in Fall River, Massachusetts, if you can think it, we can build it. So this is a combination of a whole lot of different tank technologies that we have, that we've combined it all into one. We call this thing Franken tank because it's a little bit of everything. What we really want people to understand is we have the production capabilities to build anything you need in the way of a tank. If you need it tall and skinny, if you need it short and fat, You want oddball connections on it. You want handholds for clean out. You want it to have air and dirt separation into it. You want it to have air elimination at the top. Whatever you can think of, we have the capability of building it. All you have to do is ask. You send us what you want, we'll build it. So,
We can jump around, so
yeah.
it's like they're moving.
Get the sales guys out of the way. So, we've built vertical inline pumps for a long time. We've done unit mounted drives for a very long time. This is a 125 horsepower vertical inline pump. We have the capabilities of doing self-sensing with this drive. From the factory, it comes pre-programmed, pre-set up, ready to go, eliminates the risk from having to program the drives in the field. The other advantage is this is a split coupled design. So if I have a problem with the shaft seal on this pump, all I do is take this outer cover off, take the coupling halves apart. I never have to touch the motor. I never have to touch the drive or the electrical connections. I can change the shaft seal, which is the single most common failure point on a vertical inline pump is a shaft seal. So all I have to do is take this apart, change the shaft seal, put it back together again, and I'm back up and done. The heaviest thing I'm going to lift is about 5 pounds. Okay, so that's a vertical inline. So, we also supply product for the plumbing industry. One of the challenges we have in the plumbing industry is Legionella. And plumbing code requires that we file in healthcare facilities, and healthcare facilities are hospitals, nursing homes, inpatient hospice care, things like that. We have to, they have to have what's known as a water management plan. Part of that water management plan means that they can't have any dead legs or stagnant water anywhere in their system. Well, on a domestic hot water system, there's one thing that's in that domestic hot water system that is a point of stagnant water, and that's the expansion tank. Well, what we've done is we've solved that problem. We've built our CAF series flow-through expansion tank. It is a multi-port design, so it has an inlet port and an outlet port. Cold water comes into the tank. There's a dip tube that goes down through the tank, so the water's always going through the tank and coming back out the outlet port, so that we're always changing the water over in the tank. We never, ever have a dead leg, so the tank doesn't become a harbor of bacteria. We know through computational fluid dynamics that we're always going to have the right flow rate through the tank. We're always going to keep the water stirred up from minimum flow all the way up to design maximum flow. From a sizing standpoint, you size this exactly like you would any other expansion tank. The only difference is it pipes in differently. The other thing that has to happen is you have to have a bypass valve around it. So on a normal expansion tank, if the expansion tank goes bad, you valve it off, take it out, and do what you got to do, put the new tank in, you're up and running. With this, because the water goes through it, what I have to have is I have to have the bypass. So if there's a problem with the tank or I need to check the bladder in it, I can open the bypass, close this off, do what I need to do to the tank, but I still got domestic hot water going to the building. Jay, I'm here with Greg Case. Greg is our Chief Innovation Officer, so he gets to help bring all kinds of really new, innovative things to the market. So I'm going to let Greg really kind of talk about and explain to everybody what this is, because this is cutting-edge technology when it comes to pumps and making pumps more energy efficient, requiring less floor space, and allowing for greater flexibility in how we control the building.
All right, Greg, take it away.
All right, so this is our brand new offering, just launching it here at ASHRAE. This is a horizontal split case pump. It is close coupled to an axial flux motor. So what that means for us is this axial flux motor is about, the motor itself would be about 1/6 of the weight of a normal motor. What we've done with our design here is we've used a hollow shaft motor, and we have close coupled this to a horizontal split case pump. In doing that, we've been able to eliminate couplings, alignment issues. We have no grouting that we have to do with this, it's allowed us to bring this technology, which is by WEG Motors, and pair it with our pump technology to substantially reduce the footprint here.
So one of the other things you have to notice is that motor that's sitting here right now in front of us, that is a 75 horsepower motor. Okay.
Wow.
If we had this with a conventional induction motor, you see the plexiglass down there
Yeah,
with the green.
This is the
Okay.
size it would be.
That would be the normal size. If you look at the base and look at the footprint of this thing, that is a massive amount of steel and a massive amount of area to take up in a mechanical room. As we all know, architects are making it tougher and tougher to have floor space in a mechanical room. So part of this is to help reduce that floor space. We also have to deal with the challenge of how do we reduce cost? Okay, well, the installing contractor, I was talking to the guys from one of the big mechanical contractors today, and I asked them, I said, okay, if you don't have to grout the pump and you don't have to do the alignment, what's that worth, dollars and cents wise? Anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 per pump. So that's a significant cost saving. So yes, this motor technology is more expensive, but it's more energy efficient and it's got a lower install cost. When we look at install cost, one of the things we got to think about is carbon footprint, and embodied carbon. Well, if I can get rid of, think about all the steel that I'm going to get rid of, not have to have that much base. Think about the transportation costs, because this thing weighs a whole lot less.
About 60% of the weight of a
Yeah,
full.
that's huge.
So when you look at that, that's a significant savings in embodied carbon, installation cost savings, handling. This thing's a lot easier to move. Now, granted, I'm not going to move this by myself, but it's a whole lot easier to move. The other advantage is, and this is one of the things I think is really cool, if I need more horsepower, I'm just bolting another section of motor onto it.
Oh yeah.
One of the problems we have in the industry is the engineer puts this in and then goes, oh, I'm going to do an expansion. I need more horsepower. Boom. I add another section.
Drop a new impeller in a little bigger and off we go.
And it'll work with anybody's drive. So we've got it coupled with a Danfoss drive, but it'll equally work with ABB, could work with brand Y, could work with brand G, take your pick.
Yeah, so immediate payback on the install. You got payback on efficiency and future flexibility. I mean,
Exactly.
That's a great model.
Yep.
Well,
And
thanks.
it looks cool.
And it looks
definitely
cool.
looks cool. Well, thanks for having me here, guys. And
Jay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That's it.
that's it. Let me ask you one more thing,
Okay.
just to wrap it up. And then we'll do another sign off. So if you could say one thing to somebody who wasn't able to make it today to AHR, what would it be?
Reach out to your local TACO rep and talk to us about all the new technology that we have available to you. Our industry, I've been at this, between Greg and I, we probably got close to 100 years in this business. The technology has changed dramatically from the time we first started out in this industry. Some of this, things like this with this axial flux motor, these kind of things are cutting edge and are going to be what our industry is going to build on for the next 50 years. Reach out, find out what's new in the technology world, find out what's different. Don't just sit in your office and think we're going to do the same thing that we've done for 50 years. Our industry is different. Let's move forward with it.
Great advice. Tony, thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
sir.
me here.
Jay, thank
Greg,
you very
great
much.
to meet you.
Thank you for pinch hitting for Tony. I appreciate it.
And have a great show.
Thank you.